Mark the date and time. It is Thursday, November 21st of 2019, and we are at Oakwood Cemetery at the Warmoth Lot in Section 2. And lordy, looky here, we finally have sod. A couple days ago, I sent a letter to the assistant director over the division and said, listen, nothing's happened since July. This is a case of fraud. You can't bill somebody for work and not complete the work and cash the check. So it looks like we finally do have sod. Just a week ago, there was no sod here. And there was a pile of rock and trash that had been here for months, and piles of weeds, and they have cleaned all of that up here and raked it out for the most part. You can see they've gone through here and cleaned all this up, and we've got brand new sod down. And so it looks like the city did not want the media brought out here and shown them what the condition looked like. We still have the issue of the curbing that was removed by the city, damaged by the city, and then the city billed the bank for putting the curbing back in place to the tune of about $3,500. So we're going to try to get that money back to the bank. And the big lesson is going to be learned here is that sometimes the city takes on jobs that they are not equipped for, that people lack the training for. I'll be bet dimes to dollars that there are no foundations underneath any of these monuments. They were given a price for resetting these things, which by policy means a foundation. A simple check with a screwdriver will determine that here in a minute. All right, we're going to check and see if we have a foundation. All I had to do was pull the grass back just a little bit. This is Ruby Joe Warmoth. Now the city billed the bank for resetting these monuments. Most of them you can see were buried far down below. And city's own policy has a concrete slab underneath here. But all they did was, again, here's my screwdriver. I can go right underneath the monument. They put in a little bit of pea gravel. They put in a little bit of pea gravel and set the stone right on top. There's no foundation underneath here. The client was clearly billed for a resetting. And so pea gravel is not a industry used foundation. It's like setting something on a pile of marbles. If you're going to compact the sub-base end, you're going to use angular gravel and sand, allow it to drain. So just exactly what I thought was going to happen. The city came in and put a lipstick on a pig, put the sod down. It's going to say, yep, look, we're done. When in fact, according to their own policies, these monuments were not installed according to city policy. So that means all the grass that was put down, some of it has to be pulled up, the monuments moved, and the foundations put in properly, and then setting compound used to attach the monuments to the foundations. Or perhaps the city should just refund the bank for the work that wasn't done. They can pay for the sod, because obviously they got that for their monies. But the curbing was not cleaned. This wasn't reset properly. You can see the big gaps in here where it should have been mortared in place. Lesson learned. The city of Austin is not prepared to do this kind of work yet until they get better training and better policies in place with oversight. Okay, case in point, this is the Warmoth Lot in Section 2 over here by the fence line. And now I'm over here by the drainage canal, still in Section 2, which is divided by Main Street and Central Avenue. And this is the Dowie Lot, D-O-W-N-I-E. And so this lot here, when you look at it, you notice that there's a big area here where there is no sod. And then you've got these things here. Well, what happened here was we constantly have a problem with drainage in the cemetery. And these monuments were all set by the city of Austin. And look what we have here. We have concrete foundations. Per policy, you've got a concrete foundation on each one of these. And again, the dirt gets kind of put up on side. Concrete foundation. Stone anchored with a setting compound to each one of these monuments. If the city did it here, why didn't they do it over there? There's no grass here because no one called the city and complained that there was no grass here. It's an inconsistent policy. Many of these families have died off and moved away. The city felt it necessary, I think, to reset all of these because they were sinking and other things. We had a problem here. A car got stuck in a low spot here. And you can see all the gravel that's here washed down from up the street here during a rain. The gravel built up here, and then the water came in here, washed a lot of these things out. So the city did come in and put in a proper foundation here. Don't know if the family paid for that, but the bank sure paid for one over here, and they didn't get what they paid for. This is Dale Flatt, standing up for the people who can no longer speak for themselves.